All right, what's up, people? It's been a couple of weeks since I've been on, social media. You guys already know why. So, I'm back to do another video, man. Hopefully, this video will be informative. Hopefully, you will learn something from it. And with that being said, let me go ahead and get into, my subject matter. And I'm not gonna be long. Try to keep it under 10 minutes. And I'm going to try to cram as much as I can within, that time span or time limit. So with that being said, what I'm going to talk about is not going to be, it's not going to be dealing with the stuff that's been going on social media as of late. It's not going to be dealing with this. Um, it's more geared towards dealing with this, but this is going to pretty much stop a lot of people from getting this. And if you know what I'm talking about, that's dealing with the mandates and whatnot. And I'm trying to be careful about how I word what I'm trying to get out, because they're censoring the hell out of people now. And like I said, this video is not dealing with all of that shit, because at this point in time, I really don't give a fuck what they do. But at the same time, if you're like me, you know that there has to be a solution to this shit. And the only way that you're gonna get that solution is gonna have to come from you. So with that being said, there's an easy way out. And this is how you get out of this shit. Whether you are a professional or you are a blue collar worker, the only way you're going to survive this shit is if you end up staying in the system, meaning you're going to go along to get along, or you're going to create your own reality. And how you do that is you're going to have to create a situation to where your laws are more important. Your standards are more important than the so-called system. And whatever it is that you create is going to be designed so that you survive. So what I chose to do, because if you're like me, I work for the state and I already know what's coming. Even though they're not really making a push here in North Carolina, there are certain places in North Carolina that have pushed this whole mandate thing. One in particular is Novant Hospital. That's here in North Carolina, and they just recently fired about 200 employees who refused to get this. So what I decided to do was to do what I did a couple of years ago, or what I attempted to do a couple of years ago, which is start up not one business, but a couple of businesses that would allow me to have multiple streams of income. And I'm gonna take my time about doing it, but one business I've already pretty much solidified it. I got to do the paperwork and whatnot to get the business registered with the state, so that I don't run into any problems with the IRS or any other government entities that want to come in with the bullshit. But I'm making my push to get the fuck out the system. I'm not gonna argue with these people. It is what it is, man. And for the most part, you're not gonna win that argument. They're gonna go along with the system, and you're either going to comply with that or you're not. I'm choosing not to. I don't argue with people whether they want to get this or not get it. That's not my fight. You do whatever it is that you think you need to do for yourself and your loved ones as it pertains to how you choose to keep yourself safe. I have my reasons for going the route that I'm going. I'm not going to, comment on that on this video, and I don't think I'll be commenting on that in the future. But my thing is, I've been taught that to argue with a crazy person makes you look crazy, and I'm not going to argue with anyone that I feel like is a fucking lunatic. So I don't have a problem with the mandates. I don't have a problem with how they're choosing to, push this shit, because I have a choice, and that choice is to get out. I just recently went to Fayetteville yesterday. That's Fayetteville, North Carolina, for those of you who are not familiar with, with that town. And there's a brother that I had the pleasure of meeting couple of years back, he did some work for me as far as designs and things that I come up with. What I usually do is I take my ideas and I put them on paper. And then I have two partners that I deal with. The other one is Brother Michael Muhammad, and the other brother that I'm talking about now, which is the one I went to go and see the other day, he goes by the name of JS. He has a company in Fayetteville called JS Designs. And, I talked to him yesterday, so we already got some things set up. I should be getting the finished product sometime next week. But he took my idea that I sketched on paper, and it was already dope, but he took it to a whole nother level. And I'm like, yo, that's it, man. That's perfect. So if you're into, whatever your business is, if you need some shit done as far as your logo, t-shirts, anything that's dealing with a business nature, and you're trying to market your shit and you want to have some skillful, slick type designs, these two brothers you can hit up. If I get a chance, or maybe in another video, I'll try to get this brother's number to you. But or before this video ends, I'll try to, if I don't forget, put this brother's number out there. I don't think he will mind, because that's more business for him. But anyway, like I said, man, it's a no-brainer. Don't let these people put you between a rock and a hard place and make you think that the only way out of this shit is to stay in the fucking matrix, because it's not. There are ways to get out. Now, I'm not saying that shit is going to be easy. Running a business and sustaining a business is some hard shit. I think every business that is brought to life within the first 5 years, that is the critical point, because within the first 5 years, that's when most businesses fail. And most people, when they run into those issues where the business flop, they look at that as a bad sign, but it is not a bad sign. What you have to do is go back to the beginning and then find out, okay, what was the problem? What were the issues? What was it that we missed that caused the business to fail? And then you go back and you correct it. There's no such thing as a business not being able to survive. You're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to put the time in, and you got to humble yourself and realize that no business is going to just kick off straight from the jump. It's going to take time to build it up. It's going to take time to build your clientele. It's going to take time to learn the ins and out of business. Reading a fucking business book or a book on business is good. Going to lectures and seminars that deal with things of that nature, that is good. Those are very good tools to educate yourself on how to run a business. But to really know how to run a business is when you got hands-on, when you have to get in there and you actually have to do the work in order to make the business float. So, like I said, that's the way out. Link up with like minds, man. People who are already doing these things and that are already established, so that you can learn as much as you need to learn. And another thing to add to that, as far as business is concerned, a lot of people want to start up a business, but they don't know what type of business to start up. My advice to people is this: look at what's going on in the world and look at what is in demand. What is it that people cannot live without? And whatever that is, look and see how that demand is, in your state, in your county, in your town. And if it is not being supplied, or if there's room for you to go into that arena or that area and start up a business like that as well, even though you're going to have competition, then look into that and start that up. With what we're dealing with now, because they're talking about, brick and mortar businesses are going to be a thing of the past, which I disagree. I think they will still be around. The only reason why they will go out is because you choose to let them go out. And I know a lot of people are doing a lot of online, buying and selling and whatnot. Those are other avenues as far as producing, other streams of income that you can use. But I think brick and mortar businesses will still be there. But let's just say that they're not. One avenue that you can travel down is start looking at flea markets, man. If brick and mortar businesses go out, then the flea markets are going to jump. So one of the businesses that I started up, which is what I talked about in the beginning, is a flea market business. And since I started it back up, I'm making money. The goal is to make as much money as you as you set out to make. So whatever your goal is for that day, try to push for that goal. If you don't achieve it, then always look at it like this. Never go to the flea market and walk away with nothing. Always try to go to the flea market and make some money. If you can reach your goal, cool. But if you don't, never leave the flea market without making some money, because even if it's a small amount, it was an amount that you didn't have when you first went. But now you have that small amount or maybe a bigger amount when you leave. So it's still a win-win situation. But like I said, you know, it's a no-brainer, man. I'm going to cut this video short now because I done went over, you know, what I plan to do as far as the time. But hey, man, you guys stay safe. And this shit is not over. It's not the end of the world. It's only the beginning, man. And stay safe, still have your fun, and get paid, man. Don't let anyone come along to, you know, disrupt your livelihood. But at the same time, you cannot complain about what the fuck is going on if you're not doing anything to try to get the fuck out. On that note, I'm out, and peace.